Alrighty, guys, we'll get started in just a sec. Ryan, good to see you, man. Welcome, Johnny. Welcome. Hey, it's Vinny. Welcome, the handsome one. Welcome, Silent Noise. Welcome, Certified Trader. Cool. Matt Lopez, B-Ray. Awesome, guys. We'll get started in just a moment. I think I've got about enough people here actually now. Wow, this is quick. Go ahead and get started. Let me go ahead and hit the record button so we can make this available to everyone, both on our YouTube channel as well as on our Discord. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and begin today. All right, making sure that everything's working. Hi, guys. Welcome. My name is Chris, and I am the Algo Man here on TikTok as well as over on our YouTube channel. And in today's recap of the NASDAQ 100 futures, we're actually going to be featuring the Whale Hunter system again. And today is going to be a deeper dive than usual, okay? We're not just running the tape from the open. We're going to be stopping frequently, pausing, and breaking things down and doing a lot of qualitative analysis because today is about refining your approach. It's about understanding what you're looking at and making sure that when different scenarios present themselves, you know exactly what to do. This is the trader's huddle, not just a highlight reel. So the whole point of today's session is to build depth of knowledge so that when you're on your own, staring at your own screen, you know how to interpret the signals, you understand why a setup is valid or not, and when to pull the trigger and when to stand down. Because when you're by yourself, there's no one whispering in your ear. You need clarity, you need conviction, and a process you can trust. And that's what today's walkthrough is all about. Okay, guys? Now, if you watched the chart already, you would have thought already that this was a carbon copy of yesterday's session. Because that's, and you know, you saw what happened this morning, okay? But you got to think that that's really where surface level traders really get caught. Yes, the market sold off again, but the structure and the tempo of the sell-off today were different. It wasn't as strong, and there were key differences in how price unfolded. So what we're going to do today is we're going to walk through step by step of how this happened. We're going to pause, zoom in on the nuances, and make sure you're seeing the full picture, okay? Because this right here, right now, guys, is where you build mastery, okay? So let's go. Let's go ahead and get this bad boy started. You're here at your desk, guys. The market is about to open, and you're looking at cycle and momentum here on the chart. MOBY's going up, momentum's going up, cycle's going up, okay? Kind of gives you the impression that the market is going to go up, okay? Now, if you want to confer whether or not this swing is really going to take off to the upside, you know, you can always look at your 5-minute and your 4-minute chart. You've got momentum above the threshold. Cycle is about to go up in what appears to be cycle number 2. This would be cycle number 1 to the upside. This would be cycle number 2. And again, this is for today, February the 4th. Now here on your 4-minute, your 4-minute is kind of giving you a different read on where price might actually go. You've got cycle 1 that began over here, and you've got another, you know, nice little pull that, you know, actually Actually, you know what? I'm wrong. That's not cycle one. This is cycle one right there. Okay, so that's cycle one because this is where momentum went up. So this is the beginning of cycle one. This was wrong. This is the beginning of cycle one right here to the upside. So right now it has the impression that it's going to go up, but you know, we never trade off of the first opening candle. So let's go ahead and run this bad boy and see where it goes. Okay, and then we're gonna stop. We're gonna peel back the onion, kind of go over everything in fine detail, and I'll do a lot of Q&A with you guys as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this bad boy now. This thing should have kicked off already. Oh gosh. Okay, here we go. That is the opening bar of the session right there. Alrighty, this got funny on me. Hang on a second, guys. Let me just kind of tinker with it just a little bit here, because my system has been getting kind of caught up on this replay every single time. Okay, that's the first bar of the day. I got to wait until at least the first minute completes itself, and then we'll figure out what to do on the 15, okay? You found out with playback that the 15-minute doesn't move until after the first candle. Yeah, you're right. It's like a little bug, and it's definitely a bug in NinjaTrader. In the previous version that I had, in version 6.2, I didn't have this problem, but I've noticed this problem in the last two versions that they've released. So I have no idea what's causing the bug, but yeah, it is definitely a bug. All right, so I'm just going to let this run, guys, until I actually get to 931 right there, because somehow it just gets stuck. And then it kind of flows smooth through the rest of the session, and it'll be smooth gliding. So but this is going to be a fun session today. There's going to be a lot to unpack. I'm just waiting for this bar to actually close so we can actually get the timer working. It's almost there. Hopefully we'll get another bar change right now. This is the NASDAQ 100 futures. All right, so it's making sure that it's actually moving. All right, so yeah, it looks like the bar timer reset, and it's working a lot better on this because I could see it moving good now. So okay, that's good. That's good right there. That's appears to be good right there too, and that is good too right there. Okay, so our 15-minute chart. I can get a better view of it now. Okay, so here we go, guys. First bar of the trading day. Okay, MOBY appears to be coming down again. Your short-term signal in MOBY, which is this yellow line. Okay, the difference, by the way, between the yellow and the purple line is that the purple line tracks the longer swing in price. The yellow tracks the short swing in price because it's set at 10. So this is already telling you that price is going down right there. So if cycle and momentum are going up and this bad boy is going down, do you really have clarity as far as which way the market's going to go? Do you have a bias that you can realistically establish with this? Honestly, looking at this right now with the first bar of the day, do you have anything? So Jam says it's unclear. Ray says it's no. And I agree, 100%. It's unclear. You don't have absolute clarity as to which way the market's going to roll, so you don't do anything. You wait for this 945 bar right here to close before you make your move, okay? So yeah, Marco says to wait, absolutely. So you definitely wait. So if you look here on the 4, guys, momentum appears to be wanting to fall, and you're actually going to get a bar change on this. pretty quick. You're going to get that quicker than you are here on the 5. So I really want to see what's going to happen here, because the momentum comes off the top, then for sure this is not going up. So you're going to get that any second right now. Watch. Alrighty, there you go, guys. So if you just got a momentum shift to the downside and cycles going up on very, very, very strong volatility, what are the chances of this continuing its way up over here? Okay, very slim to none at this point, okay? So you can kind of catch what the micro rotation inside this bar is using the 5 or the 4 minute time frame, but you're going to get a quicker signal on the 4 right out of the gate in the open right there, okay? So you see the signal right there. They're both coming down. This is telling you guys that there is no pressure to the upside right here, at least on the 4 minute chart. And with MOBY appearing to want to go down, there's no clarity at all. So our first base is the 15 minute time frame. What candle are these? These are Henkinashi candles. So you wait. That's what you do. There's no clarity at all. So at this point, you wait, and you wait for the 945 bar to close, which is this bar right here. Once this closes, we'll actually have clarity as to what's going to happen here right out of the gate and what's going to happen up here as well. And then we can go ahead and make our move and decide which way we want to trade price, okay? In the meantime, while we get close to the 945, I'll just, flick it over here to the 4 minute, and we'll just watch the 4 minute for a little bit. And wait. That's what we do. Okay. What platform? This is the Ninja Trader platform. Yeah, it's probably one of the easiest platforms that I've used as far as being user friendly. It's got a little bit of a learning curve, but once you understand how to use it, it's pretty it's really, really easy to use. All right, guys, and it looks like we are in a zone of very, very, very high volatility with downward rotation here. We still don't have confirmation on that 15-minute chart, so we are waiting. I've got this timer set to 3 times the speed of the market. I can't increase it any more than that. Otherwise, what happens is that my charts just kind of go crazy. So, we'll just kind of let it play out. But it's moving pretty quick. Now that the bars are actually moving, it's flowing nice the way it should. So. Do I use bots on it? No, none of these tools are bots. These are all discretionary tools. Can you use a 3-minute time frame? Yeah, you can definitely use a 3-minute time frame with these tools. It really depends on what you're looking to accomplish on the 3-minute. All right, guys, we don't have a lot of time right here on this timer. It's coming up pretty quick. So as soon as you see 9:45, we'll flip it over to the 15-minute to really try to get clarity as to what's going on right here. Right now, all you've got is a lot of chop in this bar with this pullback right there, which if you got in on this sell-off, you would have been out of the trade right there, probably, not happy, because this right here would have taken all your profit back. This right here, as fast as the market opened, with slippage, you would have probably gotten a bad fill. This would have taken it back, and right now you would have been crying. So, patience always wins. So you got to just wait it out right now. So we're almost there, guys. It's 9:43, and it's moving pretty quick. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. Here we go. We got the 9:45 candle right there, and this is the close of the 9:45 candle right there. So now that we're back here on our 50-minute chart, we were waiting for this candle to close, okay? Do we have confirmation here with MOBY that if price is going down? Okay, remember, it's A, B, and then C, right? We always look at volatility right there. Volatility right now is normal. Normal being that it's 1 right there, which is nice. Okay, how about here, guys? What do you see on the chart? Tell me what you see. Is this an area of confirmation that price is going down? You know, you got the long and the short-term wave in price going down right there. That's nice, okay? But is it confirmation, or what else are we looking for in this 15-minute to give us confirmation that, yeah, price is really going down? So Jam says, yeah, kind of crossing. Okay, we're right here. Okay, is there anything else? Okay, MOBY is crossing, but the candle isn't finished. Exactly, candle isn't finished yet. But what else are we looking for on this chart? Is there anything else that we need to really pay attention to in addition to MOBY up here that would give us confirmation? The 5-minute time frame? Not just yet. 5-minute is after we get confirmation here on the 15. So it'd be a little too early to check the 5-minute. John says, Simo and Mo to turn down. And Ray says, the Simo crossing. That's right, guys. That's exactly what we're waiting for right there, guys, because right now, absolutely, with Johnny as well, it says cycle. Right now, it looks like price wants to come down right there in normal volatility, but we don't have confirmation here. Look at this. Momentum is up above the 0 line, and cycle is still above 0 right there. We, you know, if it were at least at 0, we can say, all right, we can start hunting for a short, but it's not close to 0, guys. It's at 40% right now. Look at this right there. So it's not close to 0. It's probably, you know, going to bounce around a little bit right there. So we don't have confirmation here on this 15-minute chart with clarity, the type of clarity that we want as traders, to go ahead and try to take this trade to the downside or even to the upside right now. So what do? You wait. You wait until the 10 a.m. candle, which is this active candle, closes, and we try to see what's going to happen here with cycle and momentum, okay? Mean you go do something for 15 minutes. That's right. You wait. You wait it out. You don't try to force a trade on the 5 or the 4 or the 1 because these bars can oscillate and they can lead to a lot of chop in those lower time frames. You want to be absolutely sure that this is actually going to move in the direction that you want. Yeah, good time for a pee break if you guys wanted to run to the bathroom, right? So, yeah, you wait. And we're almost there, guys. It'll just be maybe like another minute, and this thing will probably hit 10, and then we'll get the closing bar, and then we'll examine what cycle and momentum right here are doing. Unless we get clarity right here with cycle and momentum, you know, we don't have anything. It looks like price wants to continue coming down on normal volatility, but unless we have clarity here, and by clarity I mean, guys, we want the cycle line to be at least at the 0 line, and right now it's at 40%. So not just yet. You don't want to jump the gun. What type of software do you use to backtest? It's all proprietary. It's all proprietary software that we have. Okay, we're almost there, guys. Almost there. Okay, we're coming up for bar change right now. And there we go. Let me just kind of pause it real quick at the 10 a.m. So what happened right here, guys? There's a couple of things that happened, okay? We got full confirmation right here that MOBY is, going down. So that right there is number one, okay? Secondly, right here, what happened with cycle and momentum, okay? Okay, you guys see it right there. Momentum is going down, okay? And what happened here with cycle? Okay, it finally crossed the zero line. Okay, so we can all agree that, yes, now we've got clear bias that this is going down. 10 a.m. bar right there, and it's going down on very high volatility right there as well. Okay, so what's the next step from here, guys? Now that we have clarity that, yeah, price is, finally going to start moving down, what do we do next? Okay, what's the next step? Okay, 5 and the 4. That's right. We go to the 5 and the 4, guys. So let's go here to the 5, okay, and see where this is rotating, okay. It looks to me like we just had a completion of cycle number 1 because momentum is all the way down here, okay, and momentum hasn't actually curled up. And you can tell that momentum is actually pulling price down right here with cycle being above 0. Now, remember, if you ever want to look and see where momentum is going, if you put your crosshairs right there, okay, which is 2 bars before, you're going to see where the crossing happened at the 0 line right there. Okay, you see that? That's where the crossing happened at the 0 line. 2 bars later, 1, 2, momentum hasn't curled up, which means that momentum is the dominant signal that's actually pulling price down. Okay, so I want to ask you guys a question. Okay, so that's what we see here. Let's go ahead and look at the 4-minute before I come back with the question I want to ask you guys. We have a similar situation happening right here on the 4. It kind of looks identical. Look at this. That's the 5. That's the 4, okay? You got cycle. You've got the momentum component of price right here just crossing, so that makes this cycle 1. The end of cycle 1, the beginning of cycle 1 over here, right? That's all cool and everything, okay? But the key question is, all right, let me see. Silent Noise says, would a lower simul setting on the 15, like 12, show the crossing sooner, or would it be a weaker move? It would be a weaker move because what you're looking for, if you set it to 12, is now you're getting in the zone where you're setting SIMO to only track the cyclic component of the price and not the momentum component of the swing. So, you're looking for a high energy crossing on the 15-minute time frame. And what happens is, when you lower the setting on SIMO on the 15-minute chart, is that it begins to track the cyclic moves in price that probably don't have as much energy as the higher settings would. So, right around 16, you've got a balanced setting, which is really trying to capture a good blend of the highest energy swings in price that you can spot on the chart. So if you put it down to like maybe, like a 10 or 11 or even a 12, you're actually tracking more of the cyclic swing in price. So it's not really going to give you the high quality moves that you're hoping to get. But that's a really good question though, man. Really good one too. Good observation as well. All right, guys, so if you're here and your 5-minute looks very close to your 4-minute right there, what exactly are you looking for? Okay, I mean, what exactly are you looking for now to take a trade to the downside? We already got bias on the 15 minutes. We know price is going down, but what exactly are we looking for here on the 5 or the 4? They're both pretty much identical right now at this point, so we can kind of look at either one of these. What are we looking for? Just drop it in the comment box. Okay, Jam says cycle to dip down. Okay, yeah, crossing the 0 to start cycle number 2. Exactly. So when cycle is rotating up, even though momentum is pulling price down, guys, we don't want to take a trade here. And the reason why is because we're not at the point of maximum energy right here. Okay, we're definitely not at the point of maximum energy right here. So let's go ahead and play this bad boy out and see when we can get cycle number 2, see if we actually have a trade. And everyone who said cycle going to zero, absolutely, guys. Round of applause to you, because that's exactly what you're looking for. You're looking for the maximum point of energy before entering that trade. Now that we know that momentum is actually pulling price down, that's awesome. But now that cycle is cycling, we just wait for it to kind of come back down this way. See how that would have looked like on the 1 minute time frame? Yeah, your 10 a.m. Trade on that 1 minute time frame would have been right here, right about right there. That would have been the 10 a.m. The 10 a.m. candle right there. So here's something else. Here's something else while we wait for the rotation to kind of complete itself. Okay. Let's say, for example, that something did line up and you were looking at the 10 a.m. Candle, which is this one right here where I've got my crosshairs. I put a little arrow on it, okay? Remember what we talked about yesterday afternoon, guys? And, you know, we said to ourselves, hey, you know, what happens if you get the signal and, you know, the train already left the station? In this case, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 9 or 10 bars later. What was the rule that we developed yesterday during the live stream? Does someone remember? And I kind of gave it to you guys as a homework assignment as well. Okay, so let's say everything kind of stacked up nice. Okay, let's say, for example, that cycle was going down already on this bar. Let's say that it was already at the 0 bar and you flipped over here and, you know, you were already like 9 or 10 bars into the trade. Okay. Jam said, wait for the second leg. Absolutely, man. That's exactly what you do. You wait for the second leg, because if you're this far into the trade already, this is likely what might happen. This is the 9th bar. This is the 10th bar right here. Okay. And I think yesterday we kind of counted 10 bars as well. And we kind of created a little rule that you guys could test to see whether or not it holds water. That if the train already left the station and you're that many bars in, like 9 or 10 bars in, maybe wait for the second leg would be the right move to do, guys. Because look at what just happened right here. If you would have chased, if everything would have looked perfect here with cycle coming down, and you would have hopped over here to take this, you know, this probably would have swung back before it actually goes in the direction that you want. So as a precautionary approach to your, to your process, you may want to consider that, that if you're already this late in the trade, guys, it may be worth it just take the second leg instead of just taking the first leg of the trade and having it reverse on you before it actually comes down. So I just saw that right here because I noticed that, we were all the way down here at 10 a.m. and I said, how many bars is that? 9 bars. This is the 10th bar. Yep, sure enough, you get the reversal right there. So let's go back here and see whether we actually have, no, we don't have any turns right here in price and cycle. It's still above the 0 line. And on our 4 minute, it looks like it's coming down a little bit right there, but we'll see right now. Okay, it is coming down. Software's clean. What platform is it? This is the Whale Hunter system, Queen Jayla. It's just the Whale Hunter system, and it's being showcased here on the NinjaTrader platform. So the actual trading system that you're seeing right now is called the Whale Hunter system, but the actual platform that it's running on is NinjaTrader. What is a cycle indicator in TradingView called? It's not. It's not available on TradingView. Oh, hang on. We just got a bar change right here on the 5, and the 5 still seems to be going horizontal. Right now, it's not coming down, so I'm going to look at the 4 because our bias to the downside still has not changed, guys. If anything, it's actually improved because momentum is actually coming down right there. So it's actually even better. But right now, I'm going to look here at the 4 because I think we might get a crossing as soon as we get the next bar change. So a question from Jam is, would Mo curling up concern you? Only if it got to the point of where it hits the region-wide threshold right here. That would be of concern because then at that point, it's losing a lot of the strength that it has. But right now, going up and still being at 0.80, no, that wouldn't be a concern. Not yet. Okay, so here we go, guys. Look, let me just pause it for a sec. We're here at the 0 line. Mo is still at 0.80 at the bottom, okay? Your cycle component is coming down. Comparing it to the 5, I'll take the 4 right there. Our bias is still intact to the downside, okay? So, quick question to you guys, okay? If we were to go here, okay? If we were to go here on our on our 1 minute time frame, would that be a trade that we take to the downside? Kind of like on, let me see, do I have it here? Yeah, it's right there. Okay. We're right there. We're right here, guys. This is the smooth version right there. The non-smooth version is right there. Okay. Either way, you're still right there. Would you take this to the downside? Okay, so I got a couple of different suggestions. Ray says to short it. John says, yeah, but volatility is a bit weak, and that's a good sign that you're paying attention, man. That's really, really good. I applaud that. It's actually really good. Yeah, volatility is a bit weak. Taking that trade to the downside right there, as far as the 1 minute time frame is concerned. So, you know, it's kind of a crapshoot right there. You're all the way down here. Let's give it another bar because it's only got a few seconds, like 30 seconds left. So let's see where it goes. Okay, now you just came back into low volatility territory right here, guys, okay? And if you're in low, and this was only like 30 seconds after, you know, this bar printing, we got the new candle right there, and it fell back over here, okay? Now, you know, you've got a little bit higher volatility, but price is above the line right there. Do you guys see that? Okay. Right at about 10:20, okay, we were right here when we were talking, okay, right at about 10:20, and 30 seconds later, we got the bar change right there. Volatility dropped. It's cause for concern. Don't you think? So if volatility drops, you know, what's that telling you about the strength inside the candles? It's that it's kind of weak, right? So that was a really good call on Jam's part. It is weak. So if it's weak, we don't want to trade that. And the moment that it actually spiked up, guess what happened? You know, MOBY actually crossed above, you know, crossed above the line right there, and that's the end of it. There's nothing there. Okay, there's just nothing there at all. So the learning point on this, guys, if the volatility is ever really, really super low like this, okay, you got to be very cautious in pulling the trigger and taking a trade, okay? Now, has that changed our bias? No, our bias is still to the downside right here, and we're going to go ahead and continue to look for another opportunity to go short. That's what we're going to do. See if we have anything on the 5. We still don't have anything on the 5 right there to give us a clue that price is actually going down right there at all. Our bias is still intact. It is still to the downside, okay? Still to the downside right there. And this is what I mean, guys, by the market having a different profile than it did yesterday. Yesterday, the market came down, and it came down with a lot of conviction. Today, the market is going down, but it's going down in much choppier fashion than it did yesterday. So here we go, right here. Okay, that's what we just saw on the 1 minute time frame. And you know, we didn't get in because volatility was super low, and it was actually a good move because look what happened. Let me go back here to the 4 because we need to watch this. I'm still here, guys. I'm just watching this with you. We're getting bar change pretty soon on this. Oh, that's, yeah. Thanks for the reminder, Jam. I haven't uploaded yesterday's. My son, who's actually the one that helps with the processing of all his videos, was down and out. He went to the dentist yesterday out in Rio, and he had three teeth removed. He had a supernumerary, and he had 2 molars removed yesterday. So he's been kind of recuperating since yesterday. So, but today I talked to him, and he says he's feeling a lot better. I think he'll be back in the grind tomorrow, and he'll be able to churn him out. So yeah, I know he was like, "Oh, Dad, my mouth is so swollen." Yeah, but he's doing good. He's doing much better today, and he'll be back online tomorrow. See what's going on here with the 5. There's really nothing here on the 5 just yet, and we're just about to get bar change here on the 4. So let me just kind of flip it back. Okay, so let me go ahead and pause it because this is another learning lesson here that I definitely want to go over with you guys right here. Okay, you sort of, I was asked earlier if I was concerned about momentum actually tilting up. Okay, and right here, the moment it starts tilting out outside of the threshold right there, it's losing a lot of the power that momentum has because now momentum is rising, okay, as price begins to go up. Right here, you had the end of what appears to be cycle number 2 on the 4 minute time frame. This is the beginning of cycle 2, the end of cycle 2. But now, all of a sudden, you're back here at the 0 line. Remember, your bias hasn't changed. It's still to the downside right here, okay? Your 5 minute, and everything's pointing that price is going to go down with high volatility right there. So it's definitely intentional. It is going down. Your 5 minute, however, it's not even at the 0 line yet. Okay, so there's no maximum point of energy here. So it's not even look at the 5 minute, but right here, you're back. Okay, you're back. Okay, how would you interpret this, guys? You're right here at the 0 line. Momentum is right here at the 0 line, rising as well. What's going on right here? Okay, how do we interpret this, guys? Okay, is this a setup to go short, or is this a setup to potentially wait? And the other thing that I want you to think about before you even wait. Okay, so I'm getting some comments here. So Evan is saying wait. Ray saying morning is my concern because it's rising. Okay, so Mo is your concern because it's rising. Yeah, I'd be concerned too there. Jam says wait. John says wait. Jerome says short. Okay. Let me ask you guys, let me have you see it from a different perspective, guys. So what's happening right here? Okay. Did cycle make a full cycle rotation the way it normally does? Or did cycle just kind of pivot down right here? Because normally what happens with cycle is you get these nice clean cycle rotations and then price takes off. Look at, this is what I mean by nice clean cycle. You see the sine wave formation coming down, these nice sine wave formations. You get a nice sine wave formation right here. It's going up, and we can see these time and again right there. Look at sine wave, sine wave, sine wave, right? Okay, but we're back here, okay? And cycle, when you look at this, okay, just independently of anything else, has cycle made a nice rotation even above the region Y threshold? And by the way, guys, if you want this region Y on your chart, I've got this set at 30 and -30, okay? So it's 30 and -30 on the 4-minute time frame. Same thing on the 5, okay? So if cycle hasn't really made the full rotation in price, what's that telling you about the cyclic nature of what price is doing right there? Does it have enough energy to actually go all the way to kind of its extremes and come down? Or is it just kind of waffling along right there? You had a weak cycle number 2. Look at this. Okay, in comparison to cycle number 1, this was absolutely weak right there. Okay, so Silent Noise says chop. Jam says pivot. Yeah, it does look like a pivot to me as well. This definitely looks like a pivot trade right here to me as well, right there. And what do we know about pivot trades, guys? Okay, someone type it in. What do we know about pivot trades in the market? Okay. That's right. Matt says they're short-lived. Absolutely. They are short-lived, guys. And you guys are paying attention, which is absolutely good. So if pivot trades are short-lived, you have to exercise caution in this type of setup right here, okay? The best setups when you're looking at the 4 or the 5-minute time frame, guys, come whenever you get these nice cycle rotations, preferably outside the region Y like this. Okay, you got a nice cycle rotation, comes down, you got a big cycle rotation like this, goes all the way to the top, which is nice, comes down, and then you start finding your inflection points, your points of maximum energy right there. But when cycle kind of waffles like this, okay, you're inside the region Y threshold, and it just kind of waffles and it looks like a pivot trade, and momentum is at the 0 line. Man, this is what you want to watch out for right here. This is the reason we do these trader huddles, okay? Because, if you don't pay attention to this, okay, this will definitely eat your lunch right here. Exactly like Silent Noise says. It'll eat your lunch right there, guys. So let's go ahead and play it and see how it rolls. And that's where you need to be cautious and careful, because this is telling you that there's not enough energy to actually move the spectrum right there. Okay. Now, if you really wanted to see how this is all going to play out on your 1-minute time frame over here, here's where you're at on the 1-minute time frame. Okay. So you're about Let me see how many bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're like 8 bars into the move right there. Okay, this is the 8th bar. Okay, that's the 8th bar. It is going down just a little bit, but it's okay. You know, let it go down. You know, and do whatever it has to do, guys. You have to be careful here with the trade, because if it's going to be a pivot trade, it's probably going to be a short-lived move. Okay, so we will go ahead and we got 2 versions of that right there. We can look at this version. Holy crap, did you guys just see what I saw? Okay, I mean, you can't make this up, guys. Okay, you can't, like, you seriously can't make this shit up. Okay, this is just like, whoa. It appeared to be wanting to go down on the 8th bar. And remember just a little while ago, guys, we went over the whole process of how to look at the entries when you're this far into the trade. This is the 8th bar. This right here is the 10th bar. And I just want to let that sit with you for a second, okay? We just kind of went over this whole process right now, and I told you guys that the train already left the station and you're like already at the 8th or 9th bar. Its chances are it's better to capture the second leg of the trade, right? Look what happened. This is the 10th bar. Price just went up, guys, okay? Here or here. That would have been it, okay? You would have been toast right there. And why? Because this ended up being a pivot trade. Look at this. This is how this whole trade just played out right there. So instead of this having any force to the downside, with momentum being here at the 0 line, momentum actually just dragged price and pulled it up right there. So if you don't have clarity as far as a cycle swing, or if the cycle swing is actually going to be a weak swing, you don't step down to your 1-minute chart and begin executing, especially when you're on the 8th bar into the trade already. So I hope that's making sense. I hope that's resonating with you guys, because I thought that this was a very important setup to analyze and look at, because something like this, guys, would have made for a bad day right here for anyone. So, has our bias changed? No, our bias to the downside is still intact right here, guys, okay? Our bias is still intact. We're looking at the 5-minute. The 5-minute is actually going above. It crossed, but it's actually going to go over the 0 line right there. Our 4-minute right there. It's just a noise fest right now with the way it is. So there is nothing there to trade just yet, unless we actually get momentum coming down. If momentum comes down and cycles coming down, and cycles actually going outside of the region Y threshold, then we might have something. So let's wait and see. John says, I must have always been entering between 8 and 10 bars. This is great. Yeah, those 8 and 10 bars is really important, because price normally takes a breather and reverts right around that time. It's on the 1-minute, okay? Not any other chart, but on the 1-minute exclusively. So if we're looking for something right now to take to the downside, guys, okay, we already have a crossing here, and it looks like cycle is actually gaining its traction back to go down. We don't have anything here on the 5-minute just yet. So, right now we're in wait and see mode. See what happens. Alrighty, we just got a nice cycle cross here, even though The first leg of the cross happened here. This was kind of noisy. Okay, we finally got a nice crossing right here below the region Y threshold, and momentum is coming down. So here's something else that I want to ask you. Okay, momentum is coming down, cycle is coming down, really, really good right there. Everything is good to the downside right here with MOBY. Higher time frame, our bias is confirmed to the downside, right? 5 minute right here. Okay, what do we have? Okay, looks like it's coming down. You've got you've got Mo up there. It doesn't really give me the clarity that I want. Okay, how about here, guys? Does this give you any conviction to maybe perhaps want to take a trade to the downside? Okay, you've got Mo right there, just crossed the zero line. Okay, we finally got cycle outside of this region Y threshold right there. Okay, what does cycle have to do to end this trade to the downside? What do we have to look for? Okay, in other words, what I'm asking for, guys, if you look at this right here, just this right here, look at this. Okay, in order for this trade to completely end its rotation to the downside, what would you need to see happen right here? The crossing of cycle and Mo. That's right. The crossing of cycle and Mo. So if we're not there yet, guys, if we haven't gotten, to the crossing of cycle and Mo right here, okay, if we're not there yet, we still have room to go, okay? And momentum just crossed the zero line. Cycle finally crossed with some energy down. Let's see what we see on the let's see what we see here on the 1 minute time frame. Okay, right here. Here we go. Okay, 1 minute time frame. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars into the trade. Okay, let me just go ahead and flip it there because we are in a period of like really, really low volatility, and we saw how this played out before. Remember, guys? So we're not going to jump into that right away because, we're all the way down here. Let's see if we get a shift in volatility. And this is a really super low vol trade, guys. Right here, look at this. Okay, super, super, super low vol trade. I can't get that to go all the way down. Okay, volatility is finally increasing right there. Where are we at on the 4 minute? We still have rotational swing to the downside right there. Okay, we are still there. Here on our 1 minute. On the tighter version, you are out of this trade, and on the extended version, you are out as well. So you would not have taken that trade anyway because you were in a very, very low volatility environment right there. Okay. Maybe a second leg, okay? Right there. All right, so let me stop it there, guys, okay? Cole says, we're going to buy, we don't sell a course. We just license the indicators, Cole. And if you like more detail, there's a detail in the link in my bio, so you just click that link, and that'll take you. What we're using here is the Whale Hunter system. That's what this is. So you want to click on the Whale Hunter system from the link in the bio. So a few of you guys gave me some very good perspective right now. Okay, we saw the shift right there. momentum coming down, which is awesome. Okay. Cycle finally had a little bit of energy coming down right there. Not the point of maximum energy. Remember, the point of maximum energy is right here at the 0 line. We didn't take this trade right there because it looked more like a pivot trade than anything else. Okay. So this is not the point of maximum energy. This is the point of maximum energy. Your highest probability setups are going to be when cycle rotates and it hits the point of maximum energy and boom, you go down. Okay. This is kind of like the exception right here when momentum kind of flips down right there and you've got cycle that comes down. You know, you're not at the point of maximum energy. I would classify this as a cowboy trade. Okay. Hang on. I'm getting a little verification thing here on TikTok. All right, here we go. I'd classify this more as a cowboy trade. So we saw the first part of this trade here on the extended chart, which was right here, guys. Okay. And we said, well, no, we're not going to pull the trigger just yet. We're, you know, a few bars into it right there, but we're not, you know, we're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars into it. We're not going to pull the trigger because we're in a low vol environment. And remember what happened in the previous low vol environment, right? You know, if you took the trade, you would have got sucker punched. And that's exactly what happened right here, guys. In low vol environment, you got a little flip right here. You got this bar with this huge, massive wick, which would have taken anybody out. Low vol environment, no good. So what do? We wait for the second leg of the trade. Now, is our structure still in place to the downside? Yeah, remember, cowboy trade, okay, guys? Not at the point of maximum energy right there. We're still going to see how the cowboy trade works out. And we're here. Does this look like the second leg of the trade to you? Right there, where we're at. And would you consider taking it to the downside now that volatility has actually climbed up a little bit? Right, so Jam says, send it. Anybody else? Any other takers? Anybody else? You know, should I stand down? Should I take it? What do you do? Okay, Cuauhtemoc says, wait. Matt says, take it. Okay. All right. So I got a couple people that said take it, and Boris says take it right there. Okay, so we got volatility. It's a little low. It's not like really strong volatility the way it was over here, guys. Nevertheless, it's much better than being down here in the gutter. And this does look like the second leg of the trade right there. So if we go ahead and pull the trigger on that.
Order filled.
Let's see where it goes, okay? These are the NASDAQ 100 futures. And by the way, guys, full disclaimer, you know, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. I'm not here to give you financial advice. I'm here to, you know, kind of recap what happened today in the market. These are educational sessions only to show you guys exactly how to read and interpret the signals of the whale hunter system. That's, you know, that is the goal of these recaps that we do every afternoon, okay? Uh-oh. It looks like we just got a bar change. Okay, is that going to stay up right there? No, I'm going to wait for the bar to close and see. Remember, guys, cowboy trade, okay? And if you want to see what's going on with the rotation on the 4, you can always look at it there, guys. You just had the cycle crossing here, this bad boy. Once it goes up above, that's really going to end the whole rotation right there. So here we go, right there. Yeah, it goes on. Yeah, that's right. And this was a cowboy trade, guys. This is one of those iffy trades where, you know, if you wanted to stand down and not take the trade, perfectly fine. Perfectly fine, because you were not at the point of maximum energy right here when you saw cycle come down. But momentum actually had a nice zero crossing right there, which was perfect. All right, let's see where this is at. You're a newbie. You do great on sim, but keep failing evals. That's a very common problem. Very, very common. If you don't yet have a system, definitely consider the Whale Hunter system. I know a lot of the members that we have are using this exact system to pass their evals with different prop firms out there. And guys, if all you do is get one good trade a day with MOBY, such as this trade right here, that's all you really need, is this one trade to close off your day and be happy. Now, we avoided a whole bunch of bad trades from the opening session up until now, and look at the time that I took this trade right here on the timestamp. It shows, you know, it's almost 11 a.m. in the morning. Okay, so today, unlike yesterday, was a morning where it almost appeared to be a carbon copy of yesterday's sell-off, but the market profile and the way that it sold off was different. So you had to exercise a little bit of caution a lot of caution going into this market today, and patience as well, to make sure that you were looking at the signals correctly so that you weren't jumping in, you know, ahead of your cue. Now we're getting into another zone of very, very low volatility. If you notice here, volatility spiked. Okay, price started coming down, and right here, volatility tanked again. It's all the way down in the gutter, guys. And if it's all the way down in the gutter, that's it, guys.
Order filled.
That is the exit right there. There is nothing else left in this trade. And this was actually a really, really nice move to the downside all the way through. That was the end of it right there for that one. So let's see if we see another opportunity. Now, let me show you a good opportunity for a good setup right here. And I'm just going to let the timer kind of roll a little bit there. Is our bias to the downside, has it changed? Okay, right there, guys. Or do we still have downside left? Okay, so once you get out of the trade, you go right back to your 15-minute time frame right here. Has our bias changed? No, absolutely, it hasn't. Okay, our bias is still to the downside, so we are still looking for downside trades on the 5 and on the 4 right there. Look at this, guys. And remember, just a little moment ago, I told you when this cycle rotation crosses up, that's going to be the end of it. Look at how perfect this was. The cycle rotation crossed the 0 line, and you're going to see this crossing right here at this bar. That is the absolute end of that bottom swing in price. I mean, you can't get better than that, guys.
Wow, did you see that? That's what you call precision.
That's right. That is what you call precision algorithmic trading right there. And we got out right here at this bar, which was right there, right when we saw the signal cross over the blue line right there. Okay, this was your fair warning, though, right here. You know that this was your fair warning right here that volatility was actually really, really low. Okay, And it basically led to a lot of chop right there. So this was kind of telling you that the whole move to the downside was kind of fading out on you anyway, right there. Let me actually, hang on a second. Where are we at in the swing in price? Okay, we're over here. Okay, so that would have been cycle number one right there, okay? And the reason that's cycle number one is because momentum fell right there. And the moment momentum falls, you look up, this is the end of cycle one. You can kind of retrace it all the way to the beginning of cycle one right there, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to wait and see where cycle rotates either on the 5, coming back down, or on the 4, and we'll do one more example before I get off, okay? Now, guys, if you guys need help passing your funded accounts, you need a structured system that can help do that. The Whale Hunter system is a system specifically designed to take 1 or 2 quality trades a day and you are done. That's it. It's not designed to be scalped and it's not designed to be traded all day, which is good, especially if you want to have a life. It's going to bump it up a little bit because I want to speed it up. I'll do one more example, guys, and then we'll just jump into Q&A afterwards, okay? So I know you guys probably have questions on how this works or on anything else. I'd be more than happy to answer your questions. The only thing I can't do, guys, is I cannot give you financial advice because I'm not a licensed financial advisor. So don't ask me what to trade or, you know, anything else because I can't give you advice, specific financial advice to your needs. Let's take a look at the 5-minute time frame. Okay, we still don't have anything over here. The cycle is still cycling, and the 4-minute is closer to the 0 line. So let's see what happens right now when we get bar change. Alrighty, guys. So let's go back to the 15-minute. Has our bias here changed to the downside? Okay, do we still have downside rotation here? Okay, so is our bias still to the downside or are we looking for upside trades? What are we looking for? 15 minutes right here. Okay, still short. That's right, still short. Still down and with good decent normal volatility. Volatility is normal right there at 1, okay? Right there. It's normal. So very decent trade to the downside. MOBY's going down. You still have not crossed above the 0 line. The crossing here with momentum, this is telling you guys, what this is telling you, this is important, okay, that the downside swing is nearly over, okay? So you're at the tail end of the swing already to the downside. So whenever cycle and momentum on the 15-minute cross right there, that's telling you that you're at the tail end. The full swing doesn't complete itself until cycle crosses above the 0 line. But once it crosses with momentum, that's like the smoking gun. That's telling you in advance, hey, you know what? Something's going to happen pretty soon. And likely probably within the next 15 minutes. So be careful, okay? That's what this is telling you right there. Doesn't mean that the whole rotation to the downside is done, but this is telling you that the swing is at the last phase of its move to the downside right there. So now if we come here to the 5, do we have any rotational confirmation here? No, right? How about the 4 right there? Do we have rotational confirmation here? Point of maximum energy. Okay, you tell me, guys, okay? What does this look like to you right there? You got momentum. It is climbing. It is below the 0 line. It is below the region Y threshold right there. So, question to you guys. What do you do at this point right here? You're at the point of maximum energy right here. Momentum is climbing, but it's still below the region Y threshold. Okay, Jam says to look at the 1. We haven't taken profit yet. We haven't taken a trade yet, Tiffany. We're still in the process of our qualitative analysis. And so you do this analysis every time you pretend to take a trade. You want to take a trade on the 1-minute time frame, right? So before you're positioning yourself to take a trade on that 1 minute, you follow the steps, right? So we're still on the second phase of the step, okay? No, we got out on that trade, several bars ago on that short right there. It went from 145 to 109, but we're looking for a second leg of the downside because our structure hasn't changed, okay? So if we're here and we're at the point of maximum energy and Mo is still below the region Y, how would you guys interpret that? That's what I'm really curious to know. So you wait, since Mo is moving up to meet cycle, okay? Jam says to look at the 1. Anybody else have an opinion as to what to do now if you're met with this situation in a live trading environment? It's still down, but be careful. Yep. Absolutely. And why? Why should we be careful here, guys? Okay, that's the big question. Why? Okay, cycle may change. Mo weighted bar. I think cycle is going down, which is good. Okay, we already got a nice crossing. Okay. But is Mo here, okay, at the strongest that it could be right there, okay? Is it, at, right now it's at like 50%, okay? We know that when Mo is all the way down here below 0.80, it's at its strongest, whenever price is coming down, right? It's still below the region Y, and it's still only at 50%, okay? So, what do you do? Should we look at our 1 minute, or should we stand down, wait? What would you guys do in this situation? Okay, so Boris says wait. Jam says look at the 1 minute. Yeah, let's look at the 1 minute. Let's see what the 1 minute is telling us right here. Okay. Here we are on the 1 minute time frame. How many bars into this trade are we in? Let's see, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're like 8 bars. We're 8 bars in it, guys. So Boris says wait, John says wait. We're 8 bars. Did I count that right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And Miles says wait. Okay. So, all right, let's go ahead and wait. Okay. So, yeah, let's go ahead and wait and see what happens right here. Since we actually counted these bars earlier. Okay, and we'll just go ahead and flag that as the 8th bar. Okay, right there. And we'll just go ahead and, oh, you know what? Let me run it at regular speed. Otherwise, it'll just blow up my chart. Okay, that's the 9th bar. And that's our 10th bar right there. And price is going down, guys, but it's going down on really, really low volatility, lower than average right there on this move. Okay. Did we actually get bar change on this? We haven't got bar change on this yet. So we will in a second. So I want to see what happens here. Marcus says momentum says wait. Well, we just got bar change right here, guys. So let me just pause it real quick for a second. So we just got bar change and Mo went sideways right there. Okay, Mo went sideways and cycle is continuing to go down. Okay, so has our structure to the downside changed right here? If Mo's going sideways, cycle is going down. Has anything changed right here? Okay, so no change. No change at all. Price is still going down, okay? And the fact that momentum is not here at the region Y is good because it's telling us that price is not going to go up. It went sideways, which means it's good. It's good. You're still at 50% of its value, which is fantastic, okay? But how about here now? We were at the 8th bar. 9th, 10th, 11th. Now this is the 12th bar right here. Okay, do you want to execute the trade at this point at the 12th bar? You guys tell me. Would this be more of a cowboy trade or how would you guys look at this? So Boris says no, big risk. Okay, John says take the short. Okay, so I'm kind of conflicted because one person wants to go short, the other person wants to not risk the trade. H says you're chasing fumes. Orion says don't do it. Okay, so I'm kind of still in a flux. I need a tiebreaker. I need someone to tell me whether or not. So I think I've got like 50-50 here. Yeah, volatility is kind of weak, okay? We could have taken it earlier, but, you were kind of in a flux because, you weren't sure if momentum was actually going to weaken with the next bar going up, and it didn't. It went sideways like that, okay? So instead of going up, it went sideways. It's one of those tricky trades, and that's why I'm spending time with it, guys, because if you see this type of scenario, you want to make sure you understand what you're looking at, okay? So if Mo didn't go up, and it went sideways, okay? When we first saw this right here with the red arrow, we were here on the 8th bar. And we know typically when you're like right around the 10th bar, that price stalls and reverses, and then you take the second leg of the trade and go down, maybe, right? But now you're past the 8th bar. This is the 10th, 11th, this is the 12th bar right here. So the question is, Are you late to the trade? Are you chasing at this point? And is this one of those trades that you just say, all right, I just, wasn't sure because momentum could have gone down, but it went sideways, and volatility is still really super low here on the 1 minute time frame right here. Okay. And you just kind of pause and say, all right, it may have looked good. And maybe my timing wasn't right. And maybe the whole environment just wasn't right for me to take the trade. Let's see how it plays out. Okay. I'll just go ahead and run it, and we could just see how it plays out. On the 12th bar right here. Okay. I'm not going to enter the trade, but we'll just kind of see how it rolls. And we're just going to let this thing go until we actually get the signal to get out. So a lot of learning lessons today, guys, from this whole recap. A lot of little nuances, a lot of little things that we just kind of covered. But we'll see. After this, we'll do some Q&A. Just want to check my other 1 minute time frame right there. Oh yeah, that's running really super tight right there. Look at that. That's running really, 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 really tight right there. You can probably even look at this one because this will probably give you the exit a lot quicker. And volatility is really super low as well on this trade. There you go. That would have been your exit right there on the tighter version of the two MOBYs. So let me make sure we actually do have an exit when we actually get bar change on this. Yeah, it smoothed it out. Nope, you're still in the trade there. And it's still going, guys. Still going right there. Look at that. Still going past the 12th bar to the downside. It's amazing. What does our rotation here on the 4 look like? Oh, yeah. Look at this. Okay. You still have a little bit more rotation here before you hit the 0 line. And this trade finally concludes. Best move of the day. Yeah, right. It was a tricky one, though. That was a real tricky one. And it was tricky because momentum could have hit the region Y right there. And this whole thing probably would have gone sideways. And that would have been it. Yeah, it feels right for the exactly. That's exactly the way, it was a tricky trade to the downside, even though cycle has maintained its position all the way down right here. It was a very tricky trade because you had momentum rising and it was so doggone close to the region Y threshold. The moment it turned to the side, we said, yeah, we might take the trade, but you're already at the 12th bar. Okay, and this is it, guys, right here. This is where the trade ends. Okay, right, right here at the bottom. Okay, this crossing right here is where your trade actually comes to an end. Right there, and you're done. Okay, and that's the end of the move right there. So if you would have taken this trade on the 12th bar, you still would have gotten 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 9 candles to the downside before you got your exit signal right there. It was a high risk trade, I think, to the downside, because when you saw Mo go sideways instead of going up, and you said, yeah, this is going to continue to go down, and you stepped over here, you're already at the 12th bar, guys. And we've seen it many times that a lot of times right around bar number 10, it kind of does a little reversal, and then you catch the second leg and it goes down. Today, we didn't get that reversal on bar 10. Instead, it went down to bar 12. And we saw bar 12 the moment that momentum went sideways right there. And we said, man, this is kind of, it's kind of stretching it right there. You're going down on bar 12, but you're going down on bar 12 with like really low volatility, which made the trade even more like, do I really want to risk capital? And, this is one of those good learning experiences, guys, when you see something like this and you pause and reflect, where sometimes the best move is to stand down and just let the trade play out, really. So, for what it's worth, I hope it brings some value to you guys in understanding how to look at market, at the market from a different lens right there. In case you're ever confronted with these situations, then at least you'll have this video to remember, and you'll remember this session as well. Okay, guys? So anyway, to our members, guys, okay? Here's your challenge for the day. Replay this session on your own screen. Follow the exact same process. Start at the open, build your directional bias, look at structure, look at cycle, follow your confirmation, and take the trades. Okay, then, of course, on sim. Then repeat it again, because every time you walk through the process, it becomes more second nature. And second nature becomes consistency. That's how you get good at this. Okay, guys, I've been doing this for like the good part of over 20 years. And this whole thing has just become second nature to me already, okay? But you need to practice, because practice makes perfect, all right, guys? Can you explain the chart setup? Yeah, I'll do that in a second, guys. Now, here's the thing. For you guys who are still watching, who still haven't signed up, let me ask you something. How many more recaps do you need to see before you take action? You watched us walk through trade after trade with precision, structure, and clarity. And you've seen how this system avoids the noise, cuts through the chop, and delivers setups you can trust. You've seen the results. Now it's time to experience it yourself. And all you need to do is tap the link in my bio, grab the Whale Hunter system featuring MOBY, and yes, you do get a 7-day free trial. But you first need to take the step. Join the tribe, and let's get you moving in the right direction, guys, okay? So, appreciate that, guys. Thanks, Jam. Appreciate you guys as well. Thank you so much. Can you explain the chart setup? Yeah, it's really simple. This chart follows a confirmation process that begins here on the 15-minute time frame, and you're basically looking at the structure of the market here. This is your bias. This is what establishes your bias for the day, okay? It starts here with MOBY. If MOBY's going down below the blue line, this is telling you that price is heading down, okay? And then you look at structure. If cycle is going down at the point of maximum energy here, this is telling you that price is likely to go down, okay? And look, guys, remember I told you that right when you get to this point, you're basically getting to the point where price is fizzling out. Price just actually reversed right there, okay? That's the end of it. But once you get your bias set up on your 15-minute time frame, then you step down to your 5 or your 4 to get directional confirmation at the point of maximum energy here, where cycle rotates and it comes back down and it's ready to swing. And at this point forward, you start looking for your entries here on your 1-minute time frame. This is the chart where you actually execute your trades. and you follow the signal with MOBY, okay? And that's really it. It's a simple 3-step process. And we've got a whole bunch of videos on these from yesterday and previous sessions that you're welcome to watch. If you click the link in my bio, you'll see my YouTube channel. And in the YouTube channel, you'll see the Whale Hunter playlist. And on the Whale Hunter playlist, you'll see all the videos from all the recaps that we've done. That'll give you a very good feel for how this system operates. So yeah, I definitely encourage you to watch that. All right, guys, now I've been here with you guys for about an hour and a half. For those of you guys who are still sitting on the fence, okay, still trying to piece together a system with old indicators that can't keep up with today's market, let me just say this. You can either try to survive this market with outdated tools, or you can upgrade to a system that's built for precision, built for today, and built for you. If you're still relying on theories you can't quantify, and if you're still using lagging signals that tell you what happened after the fact, then you're wasting time and probably money. You've got the tools in front of you now. You've seen what they can do. And there's plenty of time to turn this year into your breakout year, guys. The edge isn't magic. The edge is in the process. So get to it, guys, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow for the post-market recap. Thanks again for being an awesome crowd today.